All right. Greetings. Welcome to another video. All right. So, in this section, we have begun architectural, looking into architectural stuffs. So we had begun with, understanding SketchUp. Then we went to modeling some objects, some basic modeling exercises. Then we went to modeling some objects, and then now we are talking about architecture. All right. So, I will have to be introducing us to some concepts because part of the things we're trying to achieve, yeah. So, I did mention I acquired some free plans from a particular site. I think the watermark is on the image, right? All right, so that's afrohouseplans.com. Right, so I acquired a free plan from there that I would use for my explanation. All right, so I did mention that we're going to begin building plan and architectural modeling, and one of the things I would like to look into is the building plan interpretation. All right, so amongst many things, one of the most confusing things you'd go through is interpreting a building plan, and it's not really rocket science, right? It's not rocket science. So, I think I would just have to jump into explaining that. All right, so that we can get comfortable, I'm going to be interchangeably going through the drawings, and the 3D has been modeled, so it has been rendered by them to just make some of my points. All right, so we're going to talk about doors, windows, staircase, sections. We're going to talk about profiles. I don't know if we talk about profiles, but then we have floor plans and then site plans. All right. Usually, this is the two most important things you need to look out for. All right. So, as one that is doing visualization, you don't necessarily have an interest in too many things, but what you need all right, but what you need to give attention to is the site plan and the building plan. All right. So, let me begin by opening this. All right, now when you come up to opening the building plan, first of all, you might be overwhelmed by everything you're seeing. I'll first of all start by telling you to just zoom in and look at the structure. Right, just look at the structure, forget the numbers, forget everything you're looking at. What's more important to you is just this part. You have bedroom, kitchen. Start by reading these things. All right, so this is living room. Okay, so whatever jargon I'm looking at is the living room. Whatever jargon I'm looking at here is the veranda. Whatever jargon I'm looking at here is the kitchen, an open kitchen. All right, so you begin from looking at that. All right, so but what I would just want you to know is don't get overwhelmed. All right, so now, when you're looking at this and you're seeing a bedroom, you're seeing a kitchen, you're seeing wardrobe, you're seeing different things laid out, watch closet, the living room, and then when you look, you start seeing details like the numbers. All right, talking about the dimensions. All right, so these numbers are called dimensions, and usually it's defined in what unit that you see there. All right, so if you look at a building plan, you at a floor plan or a building plan, we call it building plan generally, so that's the plans for buildings, like blueprints. All right, so usually you would see somewhere it is written that all dimensions are in a particular unit or whatnot. All right, so it's not really written here. I think maybe because it's a free plan or something. So, but all drawings are, oh, okay, there it is. Very important. All drawing dimensions are in millimeters unless specified otherwise. So these plans to be used in conjunction with structural drawing, blah, blah, blah. Now, it's a free building plan. You could actually implement this physically. All right, so they made it free. You can use it for anything you want to use it for. If you actually want to build it, you can go ahead and do that. Right, so, but that's not our concern here. We just want to use it for understanding modeling and stuff like that, because this will be what we'll be dealing with in the next couple of videos. We'll be trying to model this building. All right. So, I'm not necessarily going to be going through the process of modeling only just the part that we need. I would want us to go through modeling everything that is in the house. And the reason I want us to do that is so we could become proficient. All right. This is like a training. So we model every basic thing that we can model and import the different things we can import. Then we now go to rendering. We'll do some basic renderings. Then probably later, then we'll look into something a little bit advanced that involves storyboarding, all right? Because when you want to model and you want to deliver something to a client, the client is not really interested in you modeling everything. He's just interested in you delivering to him some shots, all right? Not all clients want to see a toilet. Not all clients want to see the dining area. Not all clients want to see the room, right? There are things that they'll look out for in a building. Maybe they just want to see the outside part of it. And if that's what they need, then that's what you should focus on, right? But for this particular part, we will be focusing on everything. And the reason for that is so that when we now want to do a specific focus, it won't be difficult for you to, align to that requirement, right? So that being said, let's continue with our stuff. All right, so you see how I ignored everything here and I just started speaking about some things. You don't necessarily need to, when one thing about something that's so much is becomes overwhelming when you're looking at everything, right? Just pay attention to the main structure. Just try to understand, okay, I can see this is a rectangular building. So there is a veranda, there's a living room, there's a foyer. All right, so let's quickly look at something. All right, so if we were to let me run one of these images. All right, if we were to place this side by side, or let me just put that and put it on top of this. Now, this plan I'm looking at is the ground floor plan. All right, so I think in the UK or the US, one of them, the ground floor is referred to as the first floor. All right, so but do take note of whatever it is called wherever you are. In Nigeria, we do refer to it as we could refer to this as the first floor plan or the ground floor plan, right? But concerning the concept used here in this architecture plan, your ground floor is the floor that is, directly on the ground level, all right? So that's if we're talking about this image, you have this is the ground floor here. Here, this first level is your ground floor, and here is your first floor. All right. So if it's in one of those countries, I've forgotten whether it's the US or the UK, this will be your first floor and this will be your second floor. All right. So, but that being said, we're using this as our ground floor and this is our first floor. All right. So now when you look closely at this image, you can strictly see that there is a veranda here. And then this looks like a living room in the inside. All right. When we come here and begin to look, you see veranda and then living room. You can see this window. This is like a window space. Yeah, this is a window space. And the reason we know it's a window space is because of this, little thing going on here. All right, they represented it different drawings, different ways, but this is how it's presented in this drawing. All right, here's a veranda. So these are actually open space. Right, these are open space. And if you look at the image, you can tell that these two windows are the things here. So this window is this window is this window. All right. So we can see it goes all the way up, but we can't really see that in the first floor plan. All right. We'll probably see that when we start looking at an elevation. All right. So we can see that we have a little bit of pillar-like structure going on here, two concrete walks, and we can clearly see that one, two, same thickness. This is as thick as this side. So, but we can see all that. So I'm trying to show you how your building plan and the real thing, technically something how you can relate with it. All right. So that being said, that's the veranda. So what that means now is when we enter here, this is the foyer. Meaning when we're going through to this door, we meet the foyer directly, and when we go to our right, we see the living room, which is this area, and then just behind the living room we have our open kitchen, which means it's not walled. The kitchen is looked through. From the kitchen, you can see the parlor. From the parlor, you can see the kitchen. All right. And then we now have the bedroom. All right. So the bedroom, this is the bedroom one, the first bedroom, probably visitors or guest bedroom. All right. So then we can see some little things going on here. This is the staircase. All right. It's showing us down, meaning that this is up and this is down. So that means the first step, it goes like this, the way up. All right, let me confirm that. All right. So if I go to the next plan, which is the first floor, yeah. All right. So that means the staircase starts from this side. Yeah, this actually starts from here and comes up. All right. So it goes down. This is you from the first floor. You're going down into the parlor. All right. So this is very important. All right. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay. All right, okay. It's going up. So this is the staircase. You could actually see it there. It's going up all the way into that. All right, how did I notice that? You can see that this is a corridor and these are rails. These are railings here. So this is a void, an open void here. This whole place is open on the plan. So that means you come from here up all the way. So if you come back to the ground floor, you can see here says up. So you go up from here. And that's why this place is thick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and every other thing here is now cut off from this plan. So but the main point is you go from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you go up. All right, it goes all the way up. All right. So that being said, that's that for the staircase. You can see how it runs. Then what other thing is there for me to describe? So we have the doors. Okay, so you can quickly notice this is a door. You see how we have this? This is like the swing direction. All right, that means this door, when you come in from the foyer, the door, that means this entrance door opens inward. All right, it doesn't open outward. You push it in to open it. All right, that's why this swings this way. All right, so you can see that the door closes this way and the handle is here, so open it that way. You can see that that's the handle right there. So it opens in, and then when you come to this other side, you see another door which opens in as well, but towards the right. It swings towards the right, yeah. And then this also swings the same direction. So you swing into the to the toilet, and okay, you swing into the room space. There's first of all the toilet, and then you open up another another door to enter into the room. So this serves as the visitor's toilet and as also the toilet for this bedroom. All right, so that's why there are two doors there. All right, so but we can see whenever you see swings like this, it's referring to your door. All right, and then when most of the times when you are looking at building plans, you find out that the walls are usually thick. So these are walls. All right, these are walls. So we have different thickness of walls in a building. We have the walls that are about 6 inches thick or 150 thick. And we have walls that are about 225 millimeters thick or 9 inches thick. All right. So it depends. There are walls that could be 230, um, some custom walls, but generally speaking, we have 9 inches and we have 6 inches and 9 inches wall thickness of wall. All right. So, but that being said, that's that. So we can see that this is a wall. You can see with the shaded, it shows us that that's a wall. So here there's no shading. Now this area here is a window. This is how they represented their windows here. All right. So, but if you look carefully at the window, you can tell the nature of window, right? So we can see this is a sliding window here that is inside this toilet. So it's actually a sliding window there. All right, so you can see this is like that sliding window symbol. I mean, this place also as well a sliding window. If you come to this window, you can tell that this window is not sliding. Right, this is like a louver kind of window. You can see that. But anyways, that being said, you can see here these are just like dining set, sorry, living room set, chair and stuff like that. And then of course, needless to say that this is a bed. All right, this is your wash basin for your kitchen. This is your fridge. I'm guessing that's why they put an F. And then this is like your kitchen oven and your gas stuff like that. So that being said, you can see this is a dining table and many basic stuff. So it shouldn't really. Oh wow, there's even a TV here to show you that this is a TV position. All right, not all building plans will come with that. All right. So, but that being said, you can see how easy it is to interpret a building plan. It's not so complicated. All right. So just settle down. When you look at it, settle down. Try to look at elements that you can understand. As you begin to look at it, it begins to make sense to you. All right. Let's go to the first floor plan. Let's see. All right. So we'll have the master's bedroom on the first floor plan. That's when you go upstairs. We have the master's bedroom and we have a bedroom two. So there's one bedroom downstairs and two bedrooms upstairs. All right, so we have a balcony here going on here, and it doesn't have a wall here, it has a railing here. So that means if we come to the picture, we can see a balcony when we go up. All right, so that's the balcony, all right, with the railing. All right, so that means this is the balcony railing. The door comes in here. So that's the door right there. All right, so you can see very brief stuff. This is the orientation of the building plan, usually northward. All right. Yeah. So, but you now have to orient. You know, this thing about orientation is all about reference. All right. So just try to understand. So it's as if this house, this side is the side facing down here, and this side is the side facing us towards the left. So you might want to take note of that when you are looking at your building plan, because the direction matters. All right. So most of the times when you're modeling these things in SketchUp, you might want to model them according to the building plan. Then when you now want to place them, you place them now, if it is inclined in your site plan. So there, I don't think there's a site plan in this model. So, but I'm going to just go online on Google and look for a site plan and explain what the site plan is. All right. So that being said, we could see that when we continue with our stuff, we could tell, okay, sorry, going back to my first floor. So this is the first floor. I can see that when I come up here, I land at a corridor here. All right. So this corridor, I can from this corridor look down into the void to see the parlor downstairs. And I could just remain on the corridor and walk through to the balcony. And then I can still go back to the balcony. You can even tell that the balcony door has like a glass panel here that you can see through before the wall. So if we go back to the plan, you can see that. All right, so this is the glass panel there. We're going to see through, then this is the door, and then that's the wall. All right, you can clearly tell that from the plan. All right, so but there are different plans out there, and you could interpret them differently. All right, so this is an architectural drawing plan. All right, so you could notice that when we entered this, you can see the free housing plan PNG file, very simplified. You see, it's everything that we are trying to interpret, but so simplified. All right. So you can see the wardrobe, not so much dimension. They just give you basic information that, for, basic consumer level. All right. So, but we're not doing consumer level. We are trying to understand what we're looking at. And clearly, you can even see some more details here. Wow. So this is like a kitchen bar sitting, so something like that. I can tell there's a wardrobe here. So this is the ground floor we just finished looking at. It shouldn't be looking strange to you by now. You can tell what's going on. You can tell what's going on, like you can tell what's going on. So you can walk in, okay, I can go in from here. This is my living room. I can just step up here to go upstairs, and then like that. So this means I go up from here and I go down from here. So going down from upstairs, I come down from here. All right. So that you can see, if you come to the first floor plan, you can easily see the master bedroom, wardrobe by the right, the second bedroom, wardrobe by the left, and I could see the wash closet, that's the toilet or the restroom or whichever you call it, for this one. And then also you can see it's the same corridor for entering accessing both areas. This corridor can also be turned to an anteroom or just a little not necessarily an anteroom, like just a little parlor with a couch and stuff like that. It's all dependent on you. You can arrange your stuff however you want, right? Because we're going to look a little bit into interior. All right, it's majorly architectural, external this thing, but we're going to look a little bit into interior. Right, so we're not going to be doing anything so professional in this course, because I just want you to get familiarized and get, um master. When I say professional, I mean we're not going to go into so much details. All right, so because things are to be taken in levels. All right, so when the time is right, I'll do a more robust course on interior rendering and exterior rendering specifically. That's where I will do some explanations. All right, because I'm expecting that if you go to this course, you get the basic understanding, because this is a visualization course, not an architectural rendering course or an interior rendering course. This is a visualization course, so you could use it for both architectural or even product stuff. That's why we go into modeling in so much details. All right, so but not too detailed, but that's why we do what we do. All right, so that no matter what it is you want to do, you will not feel handicapped. It's just a matter of watching a little bit more tutorial, doing a little bit more research. All right, so that being said, that should be that for now. All right, so that's the building plan. All right, so but let me just quickly explain. So we have uh, two major things here. We have the basic label and the area. All right, this is an area. This thing you see here, this 10 meters stuff, this is an area, right? So how does that mean? Length times breadth, all right, or length times width. That's what area is. So once you do the total length of this multiplied by the length of this, you get this 15 meter square, right? You do this length multiplied by this, you get this 2.9 meter square. That's like the area of the room. All right. So generally speaking, with that you can calculate and know what objects you can fit in, how big the room space is, and stuff like that. All right. So let's come back to our architectural drawings. All right. So this is like the building plan. All right, so the first floor plan, ground floor plan, but that's not like the full blown architectural plan. So this is the architectural plan where you see the full dimensions, right? And you know we are talking about accuracy. So you need these dimensions when dealing with your modeling. So how do you know the distance of this wall to this place? That's where we start interpreting this. So we can say that from this point here, this middle of this wall to this particular middle of this point here, we can see that that is 4,790 mm. All right, and then we can also see that the dimension from this point, the total dimension from here, from the end point to this other end point, like this entire end point here, can see that that's 10,000 millimeters, and then for this total dimension here is 7,800 millimeters. So if I wanted to model this, I could just start by drawing a full rectangle that is 10,000 by 7,800. All right, so but you can see how we can navigate. All right, so when we start modeling, I'll teach you a little bit of more tips and tricks. So you can see internally at times some of these things do not suffice enough for being put outside. There are some that needs to come inside. So you can see that from here to this point, this door on this whole place, as thick as it is 1,495 from here to here, and here to this point is 4,300, 4,000, sorry, 1,330. All right, so you can easily see how you can get dimensions. And so that means this wall here, from this point to this point, this wall is 1,430 millimeters long, or wide, or whichever you want to call it. So, and these are how you interpret building plans. So you can tell this is a window, this is a sliding window because of the way it's done here. You can tell that's a sliding window. This is also a sliding window. This is also a sliding window. This is a one, two, three, a three louvers, a three, sorry, a three panel sliding window. This is also three. This is two, one, two. All right. So we can tell this window is a straight through panel window, not a sliding window. You can see there's no sliding. That's why if you check the picture, it's just a window that doesn't really open. All right. So that's it's just there for sunlight and stuff like that, but it doesn't really, it's not designed to open. All right, so if we go to the floor plan, we can see as the ground floor. We go to the ground floor, we can see that. All right, so I think they designed that part to work with air condition and stuff, or they could probably be able to open it and all that, but it's not designed to open like your sliding window. It's probably going to be a casement window, right? So but that being said, you can quickly see how we are navigating here. It's not so complicated. I'm just showing you the things to look out for. These dimensions should only be in view when you want to start modeling, or you want to take details from this concerning your visualization. All right, so this is the roof plan. Yeah, so this is what we call a roof plan. All right, so a roof plan just shows you how the roof design, what the roof will look like in terms of how to model it, or in terms of how to build it. All right, so you can see this is a section. This is what we call a section, building section. Yeah, a section is like a cut through. It's like you take it's just like I pick up this pattern and I cut it through, and I'm looking at it from the side. What would it look like when I cut it through? That's what a building section is like. So we are seeing that this is building section S, section 1 and section 2. So how do we know where this building is being cut from? All right, you can see staircase, and we know there's only like one staircase here, but how do we know that where they are cutting from? All right, so let's go up. Let's go up. So you can briefly see and notice that this is our SO1, that's section 1. It means that this building is cut along this line. So they took this whole building and they cut it from here. And then this arrow now is now showing you when they finished cutting it, what direction are you looking through? So when they cut this building at this point, then they now started looking at it. They stood at this point and they're now looking this way. So as you stood at this point and looking this way, obviously, if I leave the roof plan and come here, you can see the section 1. being cut from this point. So you can see it's being cut at the middle of this staircase. So that means I can see this staircase, I can see this imagine standing here and looking, I could at this building being cut from this point. I could see the staircase here. I won't see these windows because that windows have been cut off. Everything towards this side will be cut off, and I'll only be seeing, when I stand there, I'll only be seeing everything towards this direction. So if I stand from here and look this direction, I'll only be seeing anything that is within my view. All right, I won't see through the walls. I'll just see, assuming from this point. So that means I would see this wall, I would see this staircase cut in half, I would see the parlor, I would see the veranda, this corridor up here. I'll see it in full because it's not cut. I can see this door. I can see, so I can't see this door, but I can see this door. I won't see this door because it's not cut through. What won't I see again? All right, I would see this wall because of going through like this on the first floor plan. All right, so sections are usually done on an elevation plane. So that means, what that means is you see all the floor plans in alignment. So we see first floor, second floor, and whatever floor, even roof plan, you see all of them cut through. All right, so we can see that this is SO1. So that's the section 1 being cut through. This is the ground floor now. This is actually the ground floor. So you can see what you will see in the ground floor. Meaning you see this veranda, you see this door in this veranda, you see the parlor, the TV should show. You see this living room area. This door should be seen because when you stand here and look from this part, and this is the only thing you are seeing, you should be able to see this door. You should be able to see some elements of this kitchen. You see this staircase and everything going up. All right, so but this door will be closed, so you can't see anything inside here. All right, so these are like basic ways to see. All right, so we now have SO2, which is the second section. All right, the second section cuts through this staircase as well. So meaning if I'm on the ground floor and it cuts through here, and I stand here and I'm looking, I only see here, this chunk will not be seen. Why? Because the arrow of the section points this way. If the arrow of the section points this other way, then that means this is the chunk I will be seeing and not the other way around. All right, but since it points the other way, that means as the line cuts through like this, all through, this is what I'll be seeing when I stand here and look towards the direction. I would see this staircase cut in half up here. I can see this part going down. I won't see this the risers. I should be able to see this couch, this TV. I'll be able to see through the kitchen. I can see some part of the kitchen. I can see some part of the dining. I won't see this door because this wall will be blocking it. I won't see this door as well because this wall will be blocking like this. I would see this window, and that's basically the basic things I would see here. Then if I come to the first floor plan and still cutting through like this, I still cutting through like this, I can see, okay, I'll see this wall. Yeah, I'll see this wall. I can see this bed. I can see the wardrobe. I'll see this toilet. I can see the staircase, some part of the staircase. I can see this corridor. I won't see, I don't think, the only door I will see will be this door, right? So, and the same thing for that. So when you now come to the building plan, you can now see that, okay, the first section was cut in that side. So you can see the staircase, you can see the window inside the kitchen, you can see the door that leads into that bedroom 1, you can see the door that leads into the building, you can see the wall from the balcony, you can see the door that leads into bedroom 2. You can see those things. All right, so if you look here, you can see there's so much details going on here. So this is the TV, this is the couch, this is the dining table. Behind the dining table we have the gas and everything. So it's like we have cut through the whole building and we are seeing everything that is going on. It's like we stand there and we are now looking. Then if you now cut through it, remember this is the from the lower side, and this is from the right side. All right, so if I'm looking at the building plan, this is where it was cut there. I cut from here and then I was looking this direction. And the second cut now is now being cut from this direction and we're looking this way. So if we're looking at that, that means you can see this is the kitchen. This is the kitchen, this is the bedroom 2, this is the bedroom 2 toilets. This is the corridor. Yeah, this is the staircase that goes up from this point. It comes up, you walk up and then go up to this corridor up here. You can see the TV, you can see the parlor, you can see the louver's window. Yeah, that this window right here, that's this window, because we cut through the building from this point like this, and then we're now looking at it from as though we're standing the other side of the building and looking through, so you can see this window here. So that's the window right there. All right, so you might want to go through this video and watch what I'm trying to explain. All right, I'm taking my time to explain this because if you don't know how to read a building plan or read a section, all right, so Sections give you extra dimension. For example, now, how would I know the height of a room? This is where sections come into play. You can see here, I can immediately tell that the height of this room inside this top is 3000. Well, typically the height of a room is 3000. It's 3000 millimeters. That's the typical height of a room space. All right. So, but that being said, you can see how I can easily navigate now, and I can tell the thickness of the floor, or the floor that you stand when you have a floor above you is usually like 150, depending on this, but usually 150. All right. So you can tell this part now is now from this floor to the top part of this place is 2750. All right, so all these informations will come in handy when we start modeling. All right, so I just wanted us to go through this. We didn't really model much here, but this is an elevation plan. This elevation just shows you, like, it's like a 3D view of what I'm talking about, but in plane shapes. So this is the west elevation. If you have your, your cardinal point, you can just tell it's just like up, front, back, left, right, that kind of thing. West elevation, north elevation. So you can see this west elevation is like looking at the building solely from this side. All right, this side, like we stood here directly and we're just looking at it. We're not seeing any other side, just from this side of the building. You can clearly see what it looks like. You can see that window, that veranda area. This is the balcony. This is this window. You see the sliding window I spoke about. See, sliding, sliding, slide like this, slide like this. All right. So what this means is that the middle glass doesn't slide. That's from what they are telling us now. They're trying to tell us these two glasses slide, but this one is fixed. All right, so but that you can see this one now is like a casement windows, meaning the middle one is what can open. All right, so then can see that that's the west elevation. Then the north elevation, that would be the back side, right, the other side of the building, which is, this is bedroom 2, this is master bedroom, this is bedroom 1, this is kitchen. All right, so what do I mean? This north elevation is this is the north side. All right, this is north. So looking down, you can see this ground floor, one window, one window, one window, one window, ground floor and second floor. That's why you can see there are 4 windows here. All right, one window for ground floor, one window for so that's looking at it from that. This is the north elevation, this is the west elevation. All right, so we can now see this is the south elevation. All right, this is south elevation, which is north and south. All right, so we can see here that this, so when we look at an elevation like this, you cannot tell, okay, this window that we are seeing here, it goes all the way from down up. All right, you just need to take note of things like that, because that's how you will know, that's how you interpret plans. And then you can now clearly see that they showed you in details what this veranda would look like. All right, so you can just acquire something like this. You can just look at this so that when you start doing stuff like that, you know how you model that in place. All right, so that being said, so now we can see going down from this point. If we scroll down, we can now see our window schedule and door window and door schedule. All right, so the window and door schedule just is like the description of the window and the door. You see, we modeled an object from that of the window. All right, so this was the window. We modeled these 2 windows, which we'll use them in the tutorial when we start. All right, so but one of the things we'll go ahead to do is when we start the video, we'll go ahead and model all the required shape, or the shapes that are involved in this whole thing. We'll model all the assets, all these doors, we'll model all of them before we start. All the windows that are left, we'll model all of them before we start. All right, so I usually like having my models done, yeah, especially the, so you could decide to model everything before you start, or acquire it, maybe you download it, or get whatever means you use to get your windows or your doors ready before you start modeling the doors, because by the time you are done modeling the walls, because I'll show you how to do that, right? But when you're done modeling all that, you now find out that all right, so what that being said, let's get back to the window schedule. All right, so building plans differ, right? It differ. So now we can see your door has labels. All right, so this is door 1, door 2, door 3. All right, window 1, window 2, window 3. All right, so your schedule now, this is something a professional uses, but this is the 2D symbol. What this means is, in a building plan, when you see something like this, it's referring to a door 1. When you see something like this, it's referring to door 2. When you see something like this, it's referring to door 3. And likewise in your, so how did I know that this was a sliding window? I knew that because in the 2D symbol, this was what they used to indicate their sliding window. This was what they used to indicate their casement window, and this was what they used to indicate this long type of window, and this is another sliding window, right? So when you take note of these things, you can see these are the shapes. This is what it will look like in your 3D plan, all right, the 2D plan, which is the ground floor plan. And so those are the floor plans, all right. So now this is window and window schedule, which shows you the details. So you can see the basic information about the window and stuff like that. Now, when you come to this thing, this place now, when you come to this place, you see that we have D1 for the first door. This now, this is not in any way numbering the doors. All right, this is what this does is to identify what particular door and what particular window you are dealing with. If it's door one, you are dealing with one door. If it's door two, you are dealing with another door. All right. So you need to know how many door ones we have in the scene. So we have door one, only one door one, and that door one is like your toilet door. If you come here, you see that that's like your toilet door. Your toilet door is typically about 750. So that means this if you zoom in here, you can tell that that's 800 total. So, but the thickness of the door itself, the door swing is like 750 or thereabout because of the casement and everything. That makes it 800, right? So when we start modeling that, we'll take all those things into account, right? So, but the main point there is you can quickly see and notice that we have this door one, and that's 800, and the height of the one is 2800, all right? That's what it's telling us here, 2800. So this is the width of the one, and this is this. All right. So this is actually the first time I'm seeing this kind of schedule, window schedule. I've seen a couple of schedules, and I've not really seen them done in this manner. So, but it's easy to figure these things out when you look at it. All right. So, but the point there is you can clearly see that this particular window is window 5. That's why this W5 is like this. All right. So the ceiling height from that point is 500, while the height of the total height of the window is 2 1, but the width of the window is 1 9. So you can see that's for window 5. So if you come to window 5, we can see the descriptions there. All right. So this is the ceiling height. The ceiling height, the height from the ceiling. That's coming down from the ceiling, 500 down. Then you now see the okay. This is the height from top down. That's the height from. Maybe you come down from the ceiling by 500, then we now come down 1900 as the height of the window. All right. Then we now have the width of the window to be 2150. All right. So these are very simple things to understand. All right. So this is 900 by 19. So if I come to this picture again, so that means this window here from here to here is 900, and the height of the window itself is 1900 millimeters downwards. All right. Don't forget these are dimensions are all in millimeters. All right. So there's so much I have to just take my time to explain it. I know this video might become long and boring, but not necessarily. The video is not necessary for those that are looking for something really interesting. It's those that are really interested to learn. I've come to understand that learning can be boring and it can also be interesting, yeah, depending on the teacher as well as the student. Yeah, most of the times that learning is boring, it's not necessarily teacher's fault. All right, so but not trying to praise myself anyways. But what I'm just trying to say is there are explanations I need to do in order to ease you of stress, and just bear with me, all right? So we have looked at windows, we've seen doors, we've looked at walls, we've seen staircase, we've seen sections. I've explained sections. Profiles, on the other hand, we haven't seen any of that here. Probably when we start modeling, I'll talk about profile, all right? So then we see floor plans. We have the ground floor plan and the first floor plans. Now site plan is the next thing. All right. So this particular building plan does not contain a site plan. All right. So what then is a site plan? All right. So I'm just going to go to Google and just search for a site plan, and just find one random site plan and explain with that. All right, I like this picture. All right, so what is site plan? All right, it is a plot plan. Is a typical drawing used by architects to show, like, let me like definition. Okay, that's Wikipedia. All right. So, but the point there is a site plan just shows the layout. To lay out is like you lay things out on a plane. All right. So I have a flat plane and I want to like arrange it. I want to put my mouse here, put my keyboard here, those things. That's like That's the meaning of the word layout. It's just to lay things out, all right? So don't let's not get so confused about that word. All right, let me open this. No, no, open the image. Open image in new tab so that we can have that image in full view. All right, so this is what a site plan is like. All right, they call it site plan. You can call it site layout, whichever you want to understand. All right. So what a site plan is a plot of land. A piece of land is referred to as a plot of land. All right, in technical terms. All right. So, but the point here is when you look at a site plan, what it shows you is arrangements. All right. You may not necessarily as much as see so many dimensions in a site plan, but one of the things about site plan is arrangements. You can see we have a Lucha Lucabar Center. I don't know that how that's pronounced, but we can see a tennis court. We can see a boat launch. We can see a parking. Okay, this is a boat launch where they drive the boats into the water. All right. So, but the point here is this is a random building, random site plan I just picked up. So you can see how things are laid out. You can see there's a forest area, an existing shed here. You can see a tennis court arranged here. You can see a septic bed. You can see the hop house, whatever that is. You can see a boat house. You can see this Lochaber Center. You can see this is a parking lot where cars come in from here and they come and park. All right. So the site plan just shows you the piece of land where this building you're about to build or this thing is about to place is. What is the arrangement? Where is this one placed? What is the road networks? What are the other elements on the plan? All right. So if you carefully look at this rendering, you can clearly tell that this building is not on the same plot of land with this one. So if you were to draw a site plan here, you find an accommodation for this road, you find accommodation for this greenery here. You see the roof of the building on this plot of land and stuff like that, right? So I just wanted to give a brief intro to these concepts. All right. So for the profiles are not really something I will want to explain now, but it's something that when I explain it, when I want to explain it, you understand how to use it. All right. So, but that being said, that should be all about building plan interpretation. All right. So there's so much. This is just all you need to know as touching the architectural plan. All right. This part's none of our business. All right. I'm not here to confuse you. I'm just here to show you the relevant things you need. Right. So, but these are cesspools and soccer related stuff, right? So, but it's none of our business, right? So, but I just need you to understand the basic idea of building plans because you need that to be able to interpret the drawings that you have with you. All right. So, we have a structural plan. This is where engineers come into play, where they start talking about columns and the iron rods, different things. This one is more complicated. All right. It's nothing. You have no business with this as touching visualization, except you are a BIM worker, business information, building information model. All right. So, but except you are doing BIM, all right, you don't have any business with this. As touching our visualization, these just point out points of columns and support stuff like that. But we don't need any of these structural drawings. All right. What we just need are the architectural drawings. And that being said, that brings us to the end of this video. All right. So in the next video, I will go ahead and give you a procedure and a breakdown of how I go about my modelings of buildings like that. I'll explain to you the steps I take, and we will now start. So after that video breaking down what we'll do, the video will be short, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes explanation. Then we'll now go into the actual modeling, right? I know these talks can be much, but this is a professional training, right? It's kind of like not just a basic YouTube video that you just get. These explanations I'm doing are priceless. These are things that we paid for to learn in universities, all right? So it's not really something you just find out there for free. I take my time to explain because I want you to be proficient in what you're doing, all right? I don't want you to get, if you're really looking for a straight record point tutorial, this is not it. All right. This is absolutely not it. All right. This is a very good time to quit the course if that's what you're looking for. All right. So, but if you are really looking to become proficient in what we are doing, to go beyond just knowing how to model, you need to understand basic concepts of building. Many people go into the 3D world and they start modeling buildings and stuff like that, but they don't really understand building parts, they don't really understand building components, and that's because majorly the times they learn, they just watch a YouTube video or two just about how to model, All right. One thing you need to understand about modeling and the visualization is it goes beyond the object you're modeling. You need to understand what you're modeling. You need to understand what you're doing so that you can be able to provide solution. All right. You see, one of the important things in the business world is packaging. All right. You need to be able to package your product. You need to do proper marketing and stuff like that. And you can't do any of those things without if you lack understanding. All right. If you are just a skilled person out there, just know this: every single human being was born a leader. All right. And what that means is at one capacity or the other, you lead people. You're not just going to be locked up in your room doing tutorials, watching videos. One day you're going to come out and you're going to lead people. And you need to learn some of these skills, communication skills, and all those other things so that you can be able to be proficient. You will pave a way for people, even your own kids. All right. So, but that being said, this is not an advice session. All right. So that's just a little bit of snippet. So, but the point I'm just trying to make there is many of the things I'll explain here is something that will make you proficient in the work. So, please, as much as possible, try not to find it boring. All right. Pick your interest because you can push yourself to find interest in what we're doing and proceed. All right. So that being said, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you in the next one.